Talk Nation, welcome back everybody. Before we get started, first of all, let's give blessings and salutations, man. Most importantly, peace and respect to Yordenis Ugas, man. He put up a hell of a fight, went through a lot of punishment in that fight, and hopefully he will bounce back as true champions always do. Now, we heard Errol the Truth Spence after the fight in the ring on the podium. He said, you know what, Terence Crawford, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt. Excuse my language. Now, Terence Crawford responds, great fight. Now the real fight begins. Now this fight right here, just like Manny Pacquiao with Floyd Mayweather, we all wanted that fight for years. It built up, it went on and went on. And when the fight happened, a lot of people thought that it was a bit lackluster. That is the only thing that I say and hope Spence versus Crawford will not wind up being. I hope this fight will go down in boxing history, because that fight, when it's made, if it's made, will be a part of boxing history. It's for undisputed. Everything on the table, everything on the line. Because as fighters, when you step into that ring, your life is already on the line. The belts is trivial. And we seen what Errol Spence did to Yordenis Ugas. Shout out to Coach Derek James. He said, you know what? He may not come back and fight again. And I hope that he's wrong. I hope Ugas does come back and fight again. But it just shows the validity of the brutality and also the essence and beauty of boxing. You're willing to get into that ring and put your life on the line, put everything on the line, including your vanity. You know what I mean? We seen Erickson Lubin and Sebastian Fundora. Erickson Lubin, when he got up that morning, he looked one way. But once he went to bed at night, he looked like a totally and complete different person. Ugas, although he did have some severe damage to the right side of his face, according to him, you know what I mean, possible orbital fracture, you know what I mean, along with some other things. But you know what? That's boxing. And that's what Errol Spence does. Look what he did to Kell Brook. You know what I mean? That's a part of the game. You have to be willing to get hurt. If you are not willing to step into that ring and get hurt, you shouldn't be a boxer. Like when Conor Ben just fought Chris Van Heerden. Chris Van Heerden coming into that fight, when you seen Chris Van Heerden and Conor Ben going at it, he was tentative, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like he didn't want to be in the ring. When Chris Van Heerden fought Jaron Ennis last, I think Boots, even though that fight was a no contest, it ended, you know what I mean, ended the first round, all that, I think Boots ended his career in that fight. In that fight, Chris Van Heerden said, you know what, this welterweight division is now out of my league. There's nobody here that especially at the top level and the top young prospects and contenders rising to that level and to those spots, I can no longer compete with these guys. And in the Conor Ben fight, it showed that. He was running, very tentative, you know what I mean? Wasn't really even, shooting the jab. So I knew it was just a matter of time before Conor Ben closed in and destroyed him. And that's what happened. Now, Spence versus Crawford, you have a classic boxer, which is Errol Spence. We all know he is the master of the fundamentals. Terence Crawford is also a masterclass boxer. He also has great fundamentals as well. But The whole essence of Errol Spence is predicated and really built upon his fundamentals. Terence Crawford, he does those things, but he's also explosive. He's also, and he has that killer instinct. Like in the 6th round, when Ugas and Spence was fighting, that was Ugas' opportunity to win the fight, to really put his foot and stamp on that fight. It was in the 6th round when he caught Errol Spence, and Errol Spence stumbled back to the ropes. That was Ugas' opportunity to put his mark on the fight. But he didn't have that killer instinct. If Terence Bud Crawford puts and gets Errol Spence in that position, the fight could be over. Bud is an excellent finisher, and he's aggressive. And we all know Bud has that mean streak. So once he closes in on Errol Spence, if and when he hurts Errol Spence, he is going to try to punish Errol Spence on the way to possibly getting him up out of there. And you know what? Let's just say vice versa. Errol Spence is also a great finisher. And we seen what he did to Ugas. We seen what he did to past opponents. If he gets Bud hurt, for everything that's been said, especially this is for Undisputed, this is for all the marbles, he wants that fight to be definitive. So if he knocks him out, if he stops him or whatever, or even if the fight goes the distance, he needs everyone, including himself, to know that he definitively won that fight. And the only way that's going to happen is if he beat the brakes off of Bud, or if Bud beats the brakes off of Errol Spence. Spence has to be beat like he has never been beat. I can honestly say the only person that has really put hands on Errol Spence thus far in his undefeated, illustrious career is Shawn Porter. Shawn Porter put hands on Errol Spence. If he didn't get caught with that shot, possibly, arguably, Shawn could have won that fight. He was that busy, he was that active. He put hands on Errol Spence visibly after the fight. You could see Errol Spence's face, his posture, his mannerism, his energy. He'd been through a fight. And in the back of his mind, although he was showing confidence, at the back of his mind, he knew that if they would have said and then Shawn Porter's hand would have got raised, might have been some talk. You dig what I'm saying? But at the same time, people might have been like, hey man, it was close. I could see why Shawn got denied. But the fact that he got caught with that shot, and to this day, I know that Shawn Porter, he regrets the fact that his style was the cause of him getting caught with that shot. Just like Manny Pacquiao's style was the cause of him getting caught with that Marquez shot and getting put to sleep. You know what I mean? As they say, styles make fights. And Spence versus Crawford, these are two great styles that will make for one fantastic fight. Now, what Errol Spence does, his jab, Terence Crawford has the boxing ability on top of the knowledge in order to nullify and make things difficult for Spence. But just like I got finished saying in the previous show, go back, like, comment, and subscribe, check out the archives. I'm sure you guys will find something that you would love to watch. But moving on, Errol is a body snatcher, man. Errol is one of the best in the business in the game. Going to the body, breaking somebody down to the body, and just ultimately destroying fighters to the body. The only person that I can honestly say right now at the top of my mind, no matter how many other guys may be talented boxing-wise, but they go to the body and they devastate people to the body is Canelo. Canelo also goes to the body very well, breaks his opponent down in the body department very well. But Errol Spence, besides his jab, like that's like his bread and butter. And it just goes and shows as a testament to his style and skill and ability that even though these two simple fundamental factors, people still can't stop it. You know he has a nice jab like a piston. You know what I mean? You know he goes to the body. But at the same time, people, trainers, fighter, whatever, they can't develop a game plan in order to stop being broken down by that systematic destruction that Errol Spence puts on his opponent when they step into the ring. Ain't nobody did a chance. And when somebody is able to do that, that's when Errol Spence will lose. Can Bud Crawford do that? If Bud Crawford can do that, Bud Crawford is going to win. I said it. You can't stop Errol's jab. You can't stop it. One of the best in the business. You can't stop him from going down to the body. But at the same time, if you could limit, just like I said with Ugas, you're going to have to limit his output, meaning how badly he catches you to the body or how many of those jabs you're forced to eat. You're going to get hit with them. The thing is, over the duration of the fight, don't get hit with it a lot. You know what I mean? If that means you have to fight off of the back foot, you have to keep turning them, you have to jab it and separate, you do whatever you have to do to prevent him from doing what he know he loves to do. And once things, see with Errol, just like he said in the beginning of the fight, timing was off. He was trying to find his rhythm, he was trying to find his way. So at one point in the fight, it just switched back in for Errol. Do what you do. Do what you know. That's jab. That's going to the body. Because going to the body was setting up that left uppercut. Because soon as he went down to the body, and then Ugas, naturally, you're going to drop. Errol throwing that left uppercut and was catching him. You know what I'm saying? And that's what ultimately began the destruction of Yordenis Ugas. So salute to Ugas again, man. You know what I mean? Because when he wanted to go out on the ship, and for him to be taking punishment like that, I mean, you got one eye, you walking around looking like a pirate in the ring. You did what I'm saying. And the fact that you still wanted to stay in the ring and fight this man after he has been destroying you, that is a warrior. That is a soldier. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a champion. Subscribe, like, and comment right down there. And that's what Ugas is. Despite him losing the belt, see, a great champion, even if you happen to lose your belt in a fight, because shout out to Errol Spence, like he tweeted about, I'm going to put that in there over there somewhere. All the belts that he has taken thus far has been from other champions. And if you lose your title to the better man, to the better man, to another champion, that's fine. But how you lose your title, in my opinion, means everything. Did you just lay down? Or did you put it all on the line? Because you already risking your life. So why risk your life and just allow another man to just whoop your ass? Hell no. If you're already risking your life, you're already putting it all on the line, man, we about to get it in. For real. It don't matter how long this fight gonna go. Just like I'm feeling you, I'ma make sure when this fight is over that you feel me. And that's how Ugas wanted to go out. And despite his productivity may not have been super explosive throughout the fight, he was getting with Errol in spots. And like I said, that time, that moment in time in the 6th round was Ugas' opportunity and his chance to put his stamp on a fight, but he did not capitalize. And as he said in the tweets, I haven't been able to watch the fight yet due to my injury, but once he goes back and he watches the fight, no matter what he's seen he was doing in the other rounds, when it comes to the 6th round, I guarantee you, y'all, he's going to say, that was my shot. That was my opportunity. When Salas, his trainer, when they sit side by side, or if he watches the fight, even though he was right there, if he watches it again, he also is going to realize at that moment, that was the opportunity for his fighter to put his stamp on a fight or possibly win the fight. Because Errol, he caught him nice. And when he went back on the ropes like that, if he would have had the killer instinct, I'm talking about to close in, like Jaron Ennis, you know what I'm saying? Like when he catches something, I mean, you swarm on him, you know what I mean? Like a shark smelling blood in the ocean. Errol Spence could have did 2 things. He's already back on the ropes. He's going to throw a wide shot just to make you, you know what I mean, slow down a little bit. He's going to throw the jab. Depending upon what angle you come in at him, you know what I mean, you come in at him on, it doesn't matter, you know what I mean? And if he would have went up into that high guard, once he was in the rope and came back off of the ropes, all Ugas had to do, boy, was go right downstairs, straight left hand to the body, you know what I mean? And then he could have went to work. He just could have went to work. But he could not seal the deal, man. You know what I mean? When I watched the fight, when I seen that moment in time, man, I said, you know what, man, he blew it. That was it. In any fight, a fighter is blessed to have multiple opportunities, let alone one great opportunity to either knock his opponent out, really make the fight swing in his way, or as I said before, put his stamp on the fight, meaning this is the round, or these are the rounds that the boxing media, the refs, or whatever, these rounds are going to stick in their head, in their minds, like he was almost out of there in this round, in that round. He almost got knocked out. So that can be the deciding factor that wins you the fight, if the fight goes the distance. And Ugas getting stopped in the 10th round, if he was able to keep going, I have no doubt that he would have lasted, if he didn't get knocked out, into the 12th round. He might have lost by a decision if he didn't come back and do something super spectacular and hurt or knock out Errol Spence, because at that stage of the game in the fight, that's what he had to do. He had to put Errol to sleep in order to have a chance of winning. But all in all, great fight. But Bud Crawford, totally different animal. Totally different animal. And what Bud is bringing to the table, what Bud is bringing to the game, it's going to be a great fight between him and Errol the True Spence. It's not going to be like when he fought Sean Porter. It's not going to be like any other fight that Errol Spence have had. And that's the beauty of this fight. Both of these competitors, they do not look like anybody or any of their past opponents. So they can't say like Spence fights like this person or Bud fights like this person. No, they are the best of their respective competitors, and they are the best as far as being at the top of the welterweight division. Because as I said, you have some people coming up who is on their heels, man. Jaron Ennis is on their heels. You know what I mean? He faces Castillo Clayton, man, for the IBF Eliminator. And if Boots is successful, I mean, he's already said he wants to smoke. He wants Crawford. He wants Spence. He's not humble about it. He believes wholeheartedly his camp and even media, some of his peers, people know and believe that Boots possesses the talent in order to compete with Spence and Crawford. And also Spence has acknowledged, you know what I'm saying, Boots. He's acknowledged the young lion. And he's also said that, I mean, if he gets his opportunity, I hope he's ready. You know what I mean? And he kind of laughed and shrugged it off. You know what I mean? Because, hey, man, like Big Boy said, you know what I mean? This is grown man business. You dig what I'm saying? But Boots has the skill and Boots has the IQ. Just like when Terence Crawford threw that shot at Jaron Ennis, like I'm a little bit smarter than Boots. Like, I mean, I had to laugh. You know what I mean? Because you know what? When people say things like that, low key, they are giving you props. But know what it is. He know Boots is special. He know Boots is dangerous. So if he gets the opportunity to face one of these guys or both of these guys in the future, we are going to see a spectacular, tremendous performance coming from two great competitors, whether it is Boots or Spence or Boots or Crawford. It will be a fantastic fight. I have no doubt. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who you have as your favorite. The only thing that should matter is you have two phenomenal competitors that are going head to head, and somebody's going to fall. Spence, Crawford shall be next, and it shall be good. Talk Nation, stand up as your boy. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Right down there. And you already know how I play. Share the truth. Blessings, man. Love.